I'll call this meeting to order at 7 o'clock. First off, adoption of the agenda. Anything missing? Any questions? If not, a motion to accept. Councillor Carlson, all in favor? Carried. Minutes, regular minutes from the June 10th meeting. Craig, any errors or omissions?
Nope. Oh, everything looked great. I'll make a motion to
Anybody
adopt.
else see anything? Any questions?
I can see that.
A motion to adopt. Well, I'll jump at once. Councillor Schlossberger, all in favor? Carried. Okay, moving into action items, bylaw 1670. Marion.
So in September, we are scheduled to undergo a municipal accountability program review through Municipal Affairs. And so we've been working on that review and just ensuring that all of our documents are up to date, our bylaws, policies, or that we're adhering to the Act. And so two of the things that have come up, there will be some later in the meeting, but two that have been reviewed that we found a problem with is our bylaw 1670 and, sorry, the previous bylaws were, I don't remember the number, I apologize. But they're the ATB operating bylaw and the AMSC credit card bylaw, so it's for our borrowing. And what was missing in those was that we didn't have the maximum rate of interest that would be paid. The Municipal Government Act requires that be one of the items within the borrowing bylaw. So we have proposed two new bylaws for you just to bring us compliant with the MGA. And one is bylaw 1670, which is the bylaw for the ATB operational borrowing, and then bylaw 1671, which is the AMSC operational borrowing bylaw for our credit cards. So we're asking for first reading tonight, proceed with second and third reading at the next council meeting.
The ones rescinding is 1660 and 1661.
There you go.
Okay, any questions?
That makes sense.
Motion?
Okay, I'll make that motion.
Councillor Schultz? For bylaw 1670, can I have the question, please?
Moved by Councillor Schultz to give bylaw number 1670, the ATB operational borrowing bylaw, first reading.
All in favor? Carried.
I'll make a motion for bylaw 1671.
Question?
Moved by Councillor Zimmer to give bylaw number 1671, the AMSC operational borrowing bylaw, first reading.
All in favor? Carried. Okay, moving on to bylaw 1672. Marion.
Okay, bylaw 1672, this again is part of our map review. The legislation, new legislation requires that the Assessment Review Board clerk be designated as a designated officer by way of bylaw. And also, as I was doing a review of the Fire Services bylaw, that bylaw notes that the fire chief is a designated officer, so I have also included that position in the designated officer bylaw. So again, we're asking for first reading, and that's just to make sure that we're adhering to the requirements of the MGA.
Any questions? Motion? Councillor Moore. Question?
Moved by Councillor Moore to give up bylaw number 1672, the designated officers bylaw, first reading.
All in favor? Carried. Delegation response, solar wind. Did anybody have any questions on that or observations? The only thing I noticed was it wouldn't hurt for administration to do a review over the next 6 months and see if it's practical for
I like the
application
idea.
in this town.
Just not sure it's affordable for us, but would like to investigate.
Yeah, because we have, I mean, it's going to, if we do it, it's going to cost money, and we don't have any money in the budget for this year. So if we
Like the investigation of it will cost money?
No,
That's
it's
already
instituted.
done.
The implementation of it would.
But if we investigate it now and then if we feel it's worth doing, we can look at it for the next budget. We don't need a motion. Oh, Mary?
Well, I was just gonna suggest that probably that would be best discussed then at the FIPSI meeting level, that committee level, when we're doing budget discussions.
Okay.
And we could prepare the documents to be discussed at that committee
Yeah.
level. There is one thing that I just wanted to bring to your attention that was not, that I wasn't aware of when the presentation was made, but there has been some potential changes. There's been an application by the transmission and distribution companies to maybe consider how those fees are paid back to those organizations with these projects. So that has the potential to have an impact on our rate of return. So that's one thing that I would like to investigate further.
Sure.
But I don't have any further information at this time.
I think at this stage, we take it for information and we have administration investigate and we'll take it back to our FIPSI. Is that okay?
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's good.
That was fast, thanks.
Number 5, delegation response factor 5 group. Marion, do you have anything overview on this?
No, just simply that there really hasn't been any projects identified at this time that might fit with the services that they can offer. But administration and the Economic Development Committee will stay in tune with the opportunities coming out of South Grove. And if there is opportunities that arise, they will take advantage of that relationship through South Grove.
So we'll take it for information at this time. Moving on, number 6, Town of Nanton. They're looking for a seconder on their resolution for AUMA. Has everybody read it? Anybody got any comments on it? Before I speak?
I think
on
we
it?
should support Nanton.
I at first thought it was a good idea to support Nanton in it because they were in the same MD. We work closely with them, but on reading this, this is like creating another level of bureaucracy for us to go through, because what they're asking for is to set up an accountability. So we get a new water treatment plant, and we don't realize until we get it running what it costs. So they wanted a body that will give you an analysis. But I look at the projects of Claresholm over the last 15 years. We always include an analysis done by the engineer so we know the cost going in. So why would we want to create another level of bureaucracy that we would have to pay for to go through when we're doing it automatically through our engineering on every project we do? We always look at cost factors so we don't get a surprise when it's up and running.
And is that just standard protocol for the town of Claresholm, or wouldn't that sort of be standard protocol
Well, standard protocol for us, and that's all I can really answer
for
there. So.
ESA?
Any other questions on it? Like I don't want to say no to them, but personally, I don't want to see another level of municipal government created. We have enough bureaucrats we go through now on everything we do. Am I, Marion?
Just to comment, in some grant applications, and this is relative to this resolution because it's speaking to when funding is provided by the provincial or federal government for these projects, that perhaps there be some oversight. In some of those grant applications, that's part of the criteria, is that you as the municipality or the applicant would have to show that you had sustainable funding for that project moving forward. So this is almost a reverse of that.
Yeah.
And I would tend to agree with the mayor that it is part of the process and the obligation of the municipality and the administration and the decision makers to look at any projects that are being put forward in your budgeting to ensure that your operational costs are identified and dealt with as prior to completing the project.
It seems like, yeah, it just seems like common sense.
It does. I'm sorry, but I really don't want to have us send a letter saying no, but I do not see us supporting this, personally. Any other feelings on this?
I wasn't too sure which way to go, that's why I thought there'd be some debate, so it kind of helped me out. I was seeing it both ways kind of thing.
It all stems from their unexpected costs that came out of their project, right?
Yeah.
Well,
So is that a fault of the initial application and due diligence and
well, when you lay out the criteria for the bid tender, like ours always includes that, and we're looking at that before we go and spend money. If they don't make it part of their long-range plan, they're not looking at it till the end, and now they got a bill. They've
Their
got a cost
residents.
on their sewage treatment plant
Yeah.
that is killing them. But again, does that constitute requesting a whole new level of bureaucracy within the municipal affairs?
Not from my view.
oh, you make a good point.
That's not how I read it the first time. That's how I see it now.
Can we write a tactful letter
It's,
back?
Yeah, obviously, you know, we would like to support our municipal neighbors, but, I
I don't know, it's
question
kinda, whoops, sorry.
the rationale for this at that scale. You know, if they need an independent review, then they should be doing that as part of their
Structure.
operational process.
So it's not
That's
being
why-
looked forward to kind of as a, I don't know if a fail-safe way is about way to do it. Like if you had that level there for,
Yeah.
if you did have a young or just an inexperienced group of people in there that maybe didn't think about stuff
Well-
like that,
That's true, but
you'd have a board of people that'd be like, did you think about this? What happens? What if? And you're like, oh crap. You know,
Well,
then you're
that-
like, oh, they can make their decisions before they get.
yeah, but that
To a
this
critical
wouldn't
rate.
be a board that would say slow down. This would be a board that would take their application, do the review for them, and give them back the numbers
With all their fail-safes.
with their cost of operating. Marion?
The other difficulty with this is it's not so black and white, right? It's a very complicated process. So if we're talking about a water treatment plant, for instance, it's not just a matter of looking at what the operational cost of your water treatment plant is. It might be looking at your revenue streams and your utility costing and, you know, what your utility services are. So I think to ask another level of government to do that review when they don't have the same information that you have at the municipal level could become quite a complicated process.
It would be, well, it would create a level within the municipal affairs, basically to be engineers to do this. So there would be a cost passed on to us. And if it became mandatory for everybody applying,
Right.
that cost is passed it on whether we're doing our job or not.
Right.
So
But we're doing our job.
we've never run into this because even, I mean, the project that we just decided against, we
Because
had
cost
operating
analysis.
costs for what the utilities were going to cost if we looked at all the aspects for insurance I mean,
Yeah.
that's just doing your due diligence.
Administration doing their,
That's good
Ultimately.
administration, yes,
yeah,
that's
I'm
what,
sure that's really where it stems from is,
yes, it does. So can we send a nice
Any other
letter saying that
opinions?
and are we stating our reasons why we just don't agree with this? Or do you wanna do something else?
well, I think that's helpful to state the reasons why, then it might help to give them some clarity as well, because maybe that's what's missing.
I think so, but I wanna hear from the rest of you.
I spoke.
You already spoke. I spoke.
In hearing the discussion, I see the potential for, if you try to centralize that cost analysis outside, there's more room for error and missteps than bringing somebody in, doing it within house.
Within the project.
Yeah.
Marion?
And ultimately, it would be a council decision, so where does the responsibility lie? If there is a third-party analysis and then they come back and say, well, we don't think that you can afford to do this, yet the residents want the facility or the infrastructure that's being proposed, so you know, ultimately the decision lays at the council table, so
Right.
I think it puts a lot of responsibility on the province to make operational decisions for the municipality.
And I think it would be better if they made less for us.
Okay, so we can send the letter, if that's okay?
Okay.
Okay, we'll move on. Correspondence, Minister of Municipal Affairs, regulations on liquor consumption in the parks. This is pretty straightforward. They deregulated a bunch of parks and it's listed within. Nothing really further, it's information.
Affects our parks, right? Campground?
They're
Nope.
not-
Nope.
These are all up north by,
Yeah.
Wetaskiwin and stuff.
Most
like that.
campgrounds like our own, you're allowed to consume alcohol within your own campsite.
Yeah.
Marion?
Just for clarification, this is just rules around provincial campsites.
Provincial campgrounds, yeah.
So any provincial campsite,
Thought
there
it said
was
municipal.
a change in the regulations. They're recommending that municipal councils consider adopting the same principles around our municipal campgrounds or parks. But I think we've been fairly open.
We've never had an issue.
Yeah, it hasn't been an issue in the past. There
Taken-
has been no liquor ban per se.
Yeah, take it for information. Number 8, Old Man River Regional Services Commission. Chinook Intermunicipal Subdivision and Development Appeal Board. Marion?
So we are members of the Chinook Intermunicipal Subdivision and Development Appeal Board. We signed on to that early in the year. And this is just to give notification that the board is active and up to date. They have participated in 2 hearings and they have 4 that are pending. And those are not for us, they're for other municipal partners. And then also included in the package is the procedural guidelines. I believe we have 3 members trained for that board. I don't know that any of them have been called on yet to participate in any of the hearings, but the procedures manual is there just so that you understand what the process would be if we were to receive an appeal.
Okay, we'll take it for information. Number 9, correspondence, Claresholm Kraken Swim Club. A letter of thank you for the donation of the swim time for their swim meet, the
That's
pool
good.
time.
There's a lot
Really
of people.
successful.
I went, it was a lot of people there. It's busy. And they're all running downtown eating and lots of them are staying here.
That's great.
Okay, move on to the next, number 10, correspondence, request for decision, Claresholm Farmer Market.
Same as last year?
No, I don't want, I don't agree with that, I'll speak, but I want you guys to speak first. I'm not here to be the only one speaking.
Can I just, sorry
Yes,
for
please.
verification, I just noted when I was reviewing the agenda again today that in the request for decision, we had the wrong dates in there.
Oh.
The date in the letter is actually July 10th to September 18th, not June 6th to the
Oh.
26th.
Yeah, the next one says July 10th though.
Yeah, so
Okay.
the RFD was just incorrect with those dates.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Nothing? Well, last year it worked great. The only problem I had with it last year, and talking to some of the vendors down there, is we allowed, the way that, take a look at the diagram, we drew a line behind where the cars are parked. So the
Mhm.
cars were allowed to come in and park and back out, and I was almost hit when I was there. That's what prompted me to talk to some of the vendors. If we're going to allow them, I think it's a great spot for it, and I don't want to not let them in, but I think we should close that side of the parking lot,
That's
or
what they
somebody's
requested,
going to get hurt.
right?
What about
Was that a
just the
couple years
one-
ago?
Yeah, is that what you mean? Just that one side? And leave that other side
Yeah.
open.
And then the
Yeah,
other ones are
move the
open, so
red
just-
line to the
the
divider
very
between the
middle.
two parking spots.
Very
Yeah,
middle.
yeah. I think
Agreed.
that's way better.
Basically barricade both ends so they can't get in and out.
But that's not what's up for discussion right now, is it? What's up for discussion?
But it's all part
just-
of it. If you're
Oh,
not
is it?
gonna, I mean, you
Okay.
gotta have regulations to go with it.
I didn't know that was in the
Well,
specifics.
It's, that's why the traffic pattern, it's all drawn in there,
Okay.
and it was,
So you wanna just move the line up into the middle?
I just wanna make it safe for people.
Just right
I'd
down
like
the
to see it
center there.
recommended. I think the farmer's market does way better down there.
Yeah.
It's more visual, it's good for the town
Yeah.
than it was at the arena,
Oh, goodness, yes.
but I don't wanna see somebody getting hurt.
No, and they came to us with this exact same thing 2 years ago. When we were first
Well, they were
introduced,
concerned
wanting
about the
more.
traffic too, but
Yeah,
we
hadn't
didn't
quite
see it
gotten
their way.
You had to almost get hit.
Well, it brought it to my attention, so I talked to a few of the vendors.
Okay, I'll give you more room.
And a safety vest.
Doug will be the
shit
security.
beds.
I'm fine with closing that one half to make it safe for the users of it.
Makes
Well,
sense.
if somebody's willing to make a motion to allow the farmer's market to be there,
Well,
and administration will take care of where the barriers are.
Got that?
Councillor
I'll
Moore,
make that motion.
are we all in agreement with the barriers?
So do you want to block the one access?
I don't want people driving through there.
So is the motion okay to leave this there?
Just take that last piece
Yeah.
out, yeah.
Just safety issues. There's little kids in there.
That's good.
Mhm.
No, I'm really glad you changed that.
I thought it was
it's
blocked
only,
off.
it's only one day a
No.
week.
They would do that.
They put barricades, well, they did have barricades there, but they didn't block traffic from coming
Yeah,
in.
they allow you to see how the line is. They
Yeah,
allow
yeah.
you to park in those things, so they allow you to come in on, just on the edge and park, and then back out into those.
Well, yeah, then you're just, you're looking, waiting for something to happen.
Backing into vendors.
It was not a good situation. Okay, question, please.
Moved by Councillor Moore to allow the Claresholm Farmers Market to use the 9 parking stalls running north from the southwest corner of the downtown parking lot between 2 and 8 p.m. on Wednesdays for the Claresholm Farmers Market for the 2019 season from July 10th until September 18th. The town will provide and set up barricades.
Everybody in agreement? All in favor? Carried. Number 11, a request for decision. Event sponsorship, Remand, Shawnee, and Claresholm Prom Royalty. Marion.
Yes, so Miss Calgary 2019 is Ramon Shawnee, and she was here to assist with the prom this year. And as part of that process, she wanted to come back and do some projects, sponsorship projects within the community, and it's for Operation Smile. Operation Smile is a charity where a child is given surgery for $240, and it fixes cleft palates and so she's working with the prom students to host this event in the community to raise money for that project, and she's asking for the fee for the rental of the community center, I believe, and it's $220.
It's just a couple hours, 3 hours then? or
Yeah, I'm not sure how long they're there, but
Yeah, that's what it said, there was 3
Half
hours.
day or
Yeah.
something?
it'd be about a half day, right? Yeah.
I think it's a nice gesture.
It was quite the read, actually.
It was
Okay.
lengthy, but
Well, it's a good operation.
It's good for the prom students, like it
Yeah,
gives
yeah.
them it gives them another opportunity to do something,
public speak.
and her coming down from Calgary to help, I thought it was a great opportunity for local kids.
And to see the detail, what goes
Cool.
into, hey, she's not much older than them.
Nope.
Pretty cool.
I make a motion that we support the donation request in the amount of $220.
Question?
Moved by Councillor Schlossberger to support the charity event at the Claresholm Community Center on July 13, 2019, with the purpose of donating to Operation Smile, with a donation of $220 to cover rental costs for the community center.
All in favor? Carried. Number 12, request for decision, MD of Willow Creek tax waiver for the medical clinic. Marion.
So we have the request now from the MD of Willow Creek to waive the municipal portion of the taxes on the medical clinic. Part 10 of the Municipal Government Act states that if the council considers it equitable to do so, it may generally, with respect to a particular taxable property, cancel or refund all or part of the tax. In 2018, this council chose to waive that municipal portion, but it must be done annually because it has to be done after the taxes are levied according to the way the act is currently written. So that is there. The MD does provide us with a $50,000 recreation grant, and that was one of the reasons why council chose last year to waive that municipal portion.
Anybody?
Well, nothing's changed since last year, so I'll make a motion to waive
Councillor
their
Zimmer?
2019 property taxes.
Question?
Moved by Councillor Zimmer to cancel the municipal portion of the 2019 property taxes levied on the property owned by the MD of Willow Creek, located at 4215 3rd Street West, and the amount of $6,087.60 in the spirit of cooperation with our municipal neighbor. This cancellation is equitable to the parties involved in recognition of the support the MD of Willow Creek provides to the town of Claresholm by way of the unconditional recreation grant and the town's support of public health by way of supporting the Claresholm Medical Clinic.
All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Request for decision, Royal Canadian Legion, tax waiver. Marion, same thing?
Yes, so the same circumstances, these taxes have been waived since 2012, but again, it's required an annual resolution of council.
I'll make that motion.
Councillor Schultz? Question?
Moved by Councillor Schultz to cancel the municipal portion of the 2019 property taxes levied on the property located at 4014 53rd Avenue East in the amount of $1,132.02.
All in favor? Carried. Request for decision, map review, Marion.
Okay, so this is again, some issues that were identified as part of the review on the Municipal Accountability Program that will be taking place in September. The first motion that would be required would be the Municipal Government Act Section 204 states that a council must name a place as its municipal office. And through our research, we've been unable to find any previous record of the designation of this location. So we're asking for a resolution of council to be on record to designate 221 45th Avenue West as the town's municipal office.
Anybody?
I'll make that motion.
Councillor Cutler, question?
Moved by Councillor Cutler to designate 221 45 Avenue West in Claresholm, Alberta as the town's municipal office.
All in favor? Carried. Part 2, Marion.
Okay, the second resolution is section 270 of the MGA adds that a municipality must ensure that all money belonging to or held by the municipality is deposited in a bank, credit union, loan corporation, treasury branch, or trust corporation designated by council. Council can only designate by way of resolution, so again, we're unable to find any previous record that ATB was designated as the financial institution, so we're asking for a resolution to designate as such.
Councillor Schlossberger, question?
Moved by Councillor Schlossberger to designate ATB Financial as a town's banking institution.
All in favor? Carried. Part 3.
Okay, also the MGA requires that each council must appoint one or more auditors for the municipality. In 2017, council made a motion to award a three-year contract for auditing services to Avail LLP, which implies that they are appointed as the auditor. But we are going to make it part of our process where annually we will appoint the auditor at the time that the financial statements are approved by council. So we've got that on record every year as the appointment. So again, we're just asking for a resolution for the appointment for 2019 audit year.
I'll make that motion.
Councillor Carlson. Question?
Moved by Councillor Carlson to appoint Avail LLP as the town's auditor for the 2019 fiscal year.
All in favor? Carried. Opposed?
Oh, so I raised my hand, sir.
Oh,
I apologize.
Sorry.
Wasn't clear.
Carried. Okay, part 4.
Okay, the fourth is the financial reporting. So since Blair has been on board with us, we've had a couple of changes to the way we report our financials to council. And assuming that council is comfortable with the way that they are being reported currently, the act again says council needs to direct the way in which and how often those financials will be reported. So we are asking again for a resolution that we provide monthly statements of operation grouped by both function and type, showing month total revenues and expenses, as well as our year-to-date revenues and expenses alongside approved budget figures for both the operational and capital. So if we could get a resolution to that, unless you want to change to the way they're being currently presented.
I think
That's
they're
good.
presented well.
Yeah.
If everybody is okay, I'll make that motion.
Question?
Moved by Councillor Zimmer to direct administration to provide monthly statements of operation grouped by both function and type, showing month total revenues and expenses, as well as year-to-date revenues and expenses alongside approved budget figures for both operational and capital.
All in favor? Carried. Number 15, request for decision, demolition tender. Administration has looked at the tenders for the demolition. Marion?
So yes, at the FIPSI meeting held on June 18th, a motion was carried to recommend to council to award the tender for the demolition of the elementary school to Osatera. We did receive numerous tenders. That was the one that the committee was comfortable with. Now, the amount that we have in the resolution is $149,857.14, and that would include the option for them to come back if we decide to leave the slab currently, until such time as a decision has been made on the project moving forward. So that includes about $5,000 for that remobilization. So up to the 149 would be the resolution that we would be looking for.
But we pretty much decided we're gonna take the whole thing.
Yeah.
For
Just
Slab 2?
Yeah.
it could be less than that.
There's too many risks with the existing slab we found in the review of the information.
Okay.
For what we were gonna save.
Yeah.
Wasn't worth it.
Okay. Councilor Schlossberger? Question?
Moved by Councillor Schlossberger to award the contract for the demolition of the old elementary school located at 5318 2nd Street West to Osatera Limited for $149,857.14.
All in favor? Carried. Request for decision, virtual museum project. Marion?
So the museum has been, over the last couple of years, completing a virtual museum exhibit, and what that is they've been interviewing and videoing interviews with veterans, so people who were trained out here at the facility when it was in action. So that was 100% funded by grant through the Community Stories Investment Program of the Virtual Museum of Canada. And they did 5 different videos with veterans, and that project is complete and they've spent the money. But recently, another veteran and their story has come to light, and it's a gentleman who was a pilot here, was trained here, but is also from Claresholm. And the museum board feels that it's important to capture his story while we have the opportunity to do that, based on, his age and that. So they're looking for an additional $2,000 to be able to complete that video. But they've also committed to doing fundraising, which they've already done a portion of. But because we would need to enter into the contract, we would be looking for a resolution of council to approve the out-of-budget expenditure with the money to come from general reserves. And when the fundraising comes to fruition, that money would go back into reserves to replenish that reserve.
I'll make
Councillor
that
Cutler.
motion.
Cool.
Any questions?
I think it's great.
Question, please.
Moved by Councillor Cutler to approve the out-of-budget expenditure for the production of an additional video of Ben Scammon for the RCAF Virtual Museum Project in the amount of $2,000 to be funded from general reserves, with the understanding that the museum board will fundraise to recover these costs.
All in favor? Carried. Request for decision. Fair Days street closure. Marion.
Okay, so Lauren Billy is the event coordinator again this summer, and she's planning Fair Days. She's requesting that council allow the closure of 49th Avenue West again for the street festival, and that is closed from the alleyway down to 2nd Street. But she's also requesting that 50th Avenue potentially be closed, as they feel that there may be some benefit to the businesses along 50th to have the activity in the downtown. One of the concerns we have is that if both areas were blocked off, there's potential for additional traffic downtown, and with 50th Avenue being the only access through the highway with lights, that becomes a concern. And also, 2nd Street is less visible from the highway and is on the parade route, so it makes it a little more difficult in the setup. So one of the suggestions that we have there, and this kind of goes to the next request on the agenda, but one of the suggestions we have is perhaps we could close the downtown parking lot and leave 50th open, and that way 49th and the parking lot could be where all the activity happens. So the 50th Avenue businesses could still benefit from that, but it wouldn't affect the traffic flow quite as significantly.
I think that's really smart.
I like
Yeah.
that idea better than shutting down the 2 streets.
Yes.
I think it's dangerous closing down 50th. People coming around that corner.
Did you, was it suggested to Lauren at all that this might be an option to use the parking lot?
I believe that was one of the ideas that was presented to her, but I haven't spoken to her personally, so I don't.
Okay.
But I think she would be okay with that. I think she just wants to be able to expand the event a little
And
bit
get
and
more
have
50th.
some activity on that 50th Avenue.
Yeah.
I think it's really
It'll
smart.
change, it takes away the parking downtown, but it also could enhance the event, so.
It's only one day.
That is touch a truck, do you know?
I don't know what touch truck is.
So she's got this group of guys who have like monster trucks, but then it's also like bringing your fire truck and bringing your town trucks, and it shows the kids, and they can actually go and look on the apparatus, and you can actually go on it and take a look at it.
Oh,
You ever been to Nanton when they got that monster truck in the field and he's taking people for rides?
Yeah.
That type of
That kind of thing.
yeah, it's actually really kind of a cool idea. I've seen a couple of them in other things.
good. Okay,
And the
would somebody
ability-
like to make a motion?
Could they utilize the alleyway in behind the post office as well, if need be?
I think
Yeah,
that
I
was-
think we would have to close off the whole.
The whole
block.
If you're closing a parking
Yeah, we
lot,
would have
So
to
they might be
close-
able to, yeah.
Just
Yeah.
strip up into that area if
Yeah.
need
Well,
be.
you're showing, in your map, you're showing barricades at the alley entrance
Yeah.
at the west end and beside Pharmacy, so the alley is closed by this
Oh,
this
yeah.
map.
Yeah.
And of course, the other end of the alley behind the Mills block is
Well-
closed by the yellow circle, so all three
Yeah.
entrances are closed.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Well, we wouldn't close the alley behind,
Pharmacy.
the pharmacy, like the alley on the east side of the parking lot, because we close from the alley west. So if traffic turns onto 50th, they can still go down that alley and exit.
Oh, so this
Or
matters.
if they
So-
turn on
So that would just
49th,
pull
they
up a
can
little bit
get
higher.
back over.
Yes.
That's right, because the
Yes,
stage was right
exactly.
there before the back alley, and that was
Yeah.
kind of your dead
So this
end.
map's,
Has
this
So we
map's
need
not
to
quite
leave that
right.
alley open to allow traffic
Yeah.
that happens to turn down the street to get.
They can get back.
Yeah.
Okay, so that,
So
I was
it would
just going by
be
the map
closed
we were
on the
provided,
east.
so.
It would just be
Mhm.
closed on the west end and the north end.
So the, yeah,
Oh, so.
So the
oh,
parking
because-
lot would be, and the alley by the post office would be closed off, but the alley behind the pharmacy would
the
still be.
north-south alley would be left open,
Correct.
but the east-west alley would be closed.
Yeah, we're looking at the next request.
Now that we're clear, would somebody like to make a motion? Councillor Schlossberger. And we're going with closing 49th and the parking lot.
Parking lot.
Or, I mean,
We're good.
that's what I'd like to see.
Question?
Moved by Councillor Schlossberger to approve closure of 49th Avenue West from Second Street West intersection to the north-south alley that runs adjacent ATV and pharmacy, and the closure of the downtown parking lot for a period of up to 12 hours as required to facilitate the Faraday Street Festival on August 10th, 2019.
Can
Sounds
we
good.
indicate in that we're gonna close the alley that runs east-west? I don't think it was in the way,
It isn't in there.
So
I
just
just
add
said
in
that.
closure behind.
And closure downtown. So,
I wouldn't close it right at the entrance to the alley, I would close it
Including the alley.
at the end of the parking lots there, for the post office and,
East and west.
From the liquor store or
yeah, the
Yeah.
liquor
Right.
store.
just so people can get in.
Get into their
Turn
parking
around.
lots.
Well,
Can we add that, so we close it behind Petrus Liquor Store,
not right at the street
east?
entrance.
Because when they come in behind the post office, there's parking lots for their employees behind the agency and
So we
Jim
just wanna be
Rooster
down
Dance.
past the businesses before we close it?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine, we'll manage
Oh,
that.
I see what you're
Yeah.
saying, yeah.
because they want to use their parking
Yeah,
lots,
so
those
if they're open
businesses.
Saturday, yep, yep. So we can't use that end of the parking lot, or the drive.
As long as we don't
back
have
out.
through traffic. Okay, can we have the question?
moved by Councillor Schlossberger to approve closure of 49th Avenue West from Second Street intersection to the north-south alley that runs adjacent to ATV and pharmacy, and the closure of the downtown parking lot, including the alley running east and west, for a period of up to 12 hours as required to facilitate the Faraday Street Festival on August 10th, 2019.
Sounds good.
All in favor? Carried. Request for decision. Faraday's event request, Claresholm Skate Park Association.
Well, they're working with Faraday's.
Yeah.
It's already closed off now.
Brad, I'm sure you
Skate
wanna-
parks, they've canceled this.
Oh,
Oh,
They can't. We can't get enough volunteers.
For the
Oh.
beer garden?
Yeah.
For both events?
For the fair days.
Fair it is.
oh, okay, so this is withdrawn.
As far as I know, that's the last I knew.
Oh, that's too bad.
mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll leave it, move on. Request for decision, four-way stop request, Amson Park.
What about the monster truck, touch truck thing? Did we already make a decision about that?
That's
That's
Lauren
Canada Day.
Billy's request for.
It's all
fif-
together?
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, we
Never
don't,
mind,
we don't
sorry.
have to individualize it.
Okay.
So, I just want the skate park thing here, because that's Fair-Days. That's not
Canada.
Canada Day. Oh no, that's both for Fair-Days. Never mind. So if it does turn out that they want to do it and they can, they don't have to reapply for ask for permission again, do they? Or we're like sure that they're not doing this. Because
Well-
I hate to say take it off, not make a decision, and then them wanna do it with no decision that was being made, or does that matter? Can we just,
It does matter, they would have to come back because, it requires council approval in order for them to have the beer gardens on town property.
Can we move this, like table this until, Brad has a chance to get a hold of them? Carry on with the rest and we'll bring it back up. Is that all right with everybody?
Mhm.
We need a motion to do that?
A motion to
To just
table
table
Yeah.
it?
Okay, somebody could make a motion. Councillor Schultz,
till later in
till later in the agenda. All in favor? Carried. Okay, now we'll move on. The four-way stop. This is the northwest corner of Amundsen Park. We had a request from people that live on, close to that, one house off that intersection. The north-south traffic gets quite a bit of speed. I mean, the whole town is done with four-way stops, except, so there's very few of these intersections. They tend to speed through there. Other people anticipating it's a four-way start into it, it's kind of a hazard.
Mhm.
They had quite a talk with me and one of you guys. Wasn't there somebody? There was two of us there. What was Tara? Because Tara brought it forward. So anyways, it's something to think about, another four-way stop in town.
I think it's really smart, I use that intersection
Well, it's
all the
also the
time.
start of a playground.
Yeah,
Exactly.
playground zone.
And it's true, they buzz through that.
Well, if somebody would like to make a motion.
Go ahead, Gav.
I'll make that
Council-
motion.
Councillor Moore. Question?
Moved by Councillor Moore to install 2 stop signs along with new signs along 3rd Street West to create a four-way stop at the corner of 3rd Street and 50th Avenue West.
All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Let me catch up here before we stop. Looking forward. Request for direction, September open house. Marion,
So, we're just looking to set a date for the September open house and, also set the agenda items for that. And I didn't put it in the backgrounder and I apologize, but 2 of the dates, we have gone with Thursday nights, which seem to work. So 2 of the dates that would work would be possibly September 12th or 19th. And then, the topics that we administratively believe would be good topics would be the recycling program, because it's effective October 1st, or intended to be effective October 1st. And also at that point, we would anticipate that we would have some additional information on the multi-use building to be able to present to the public.
now which dates were you?
September 12th or 19th we were looking at. We do have AUMA convention the 25th, 26th, and 27th. And the 5th is right after the long weekend, so that seems, everybody's getting back into school, it's kind of one of those things, so
The
we
19th.
thought those
19th.
12th or 19th would work best.
19th probably.
I like the
That's good.
19th.
Sounds good.
You don't need a
Recycle.
motion for that, do you? Just
If you would-
direction?
Yeah, if you would,
Make a motion?
give us direction, just direction.
Direction,
Doesn't
okay, we'll
require-
go September 19th. Okay, financial report, statement of operations up until April 30th, 2019. For information, financial report for up to May 31st for information.
We need a resolution to approve those.
You do? Okay, thought we were taking this information. Okay, first off, April 30th, can I get a motion to accept that? Councillor Cutler? Question?
Moved by Councillor Cutler to accept the consolidated statement of operations for the month ended April 30th, 2019 as presented.
All in favor? Carried. Can I get a motion for May 31st?
I'll make that motion.
Councillor Zimmer, question?
Moved by Councillor Zimmer to accept the consolidated statement of operations for the month ended May 31st, 2019 as presented.
All in favor? Carried. Now the information, CAO report, information brief, council resolutions, and adoption of information items. We don't need a motion for all that. Now, did you get any information back?
Yes.
You can bring back.
Fair Days is, they're going with Fair Days, but I believe it's Canada Day that canceled. So Fair Days is on for beer gardens.
Well, Fair Days is all we're concerned with right now.
Excellent.
Good job, Councillor Zimmer.
Okay, that's,
So now you go back and make a motion to Faraday's request.
and this is the first time we've tabled and brought something back. Do we need a motion to bring it back to the table?
No, not to bring it back to
Okay.
the table, just a motion.
Okay, we're dealing with
Sorry,
request
it's
for
been a while,
decision.
yeah. No motion to put it back.
First one we've done, so.
Yeah, right?
New.
We'll learn.
Yeah. Fair Days event request, Claresholm Skate Park Association, this is for Fair Days. But who would make a motion? Councillor Schlossberger. Question?
Moved by Councillor Schlossberger to approve the use of the downtown parking lot for the Claresholm Skate Park Association Fair Days Beer Gardens on August 10th, 2019, provided the group adheres to all provincial/municipal regulations.
All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Motion to go in camera.
Do we have to approve all the reports?
Councillor Cutler.
Need a motion to adopt the information items.
Information items.
Well, that, from what
Can we
that's,
before the,
from what that seminar said, I thought we didn't have to do that anymore.
I know, but you decided you were gonna keep doing it, so.
We did, didn't we?
thanks, Mom.
We did decide we were gonna keep doing it. Okay.
Yes, you did.
I have a question about our bylaw officer's report.
What do you got?
And, oh, I must have. I'm really curious about his time that's spent. 46% of his time in May was spent writing reports. Is that like how it always is? Or is that generally, am I not reading this properly? Report writing on his community engagement in May?
Yeah, so that's just, it's not
Is that 'cause
necessarily
he's new?
part of his overall time, but that would be a big percentage of everything that he does has to be put into report exec. And so, first of all, it's taking a little more time now for him to
Just
do
because
that.
he's new?
But yeah, everything
Okay.
goes into that report. So he might spend, a morning out writing tickets, but every ticket he writes, he has to put into report exec. So,
And get used
you
to
know,
his
it
style.
kind of balance, it's probably fair to say 50% of the time, it's
Right.
documenting what he's doing.
Right.
That's with anything,
Yeah.
Seems to be
right?
that way.
Not just
Yeah.
ticket writing,
Yes, I-
everything.
Yeah.
Okay, teachers too. Admin. Fair enough. Ridiculous.
Mhm. Okay, so somebody can make a motion to adopt the information items. Councillor Moore, question.
Moved by Councillor Moore to adopt the information items as presented.
All in favor? Carried.
Thanks to everybody who does their job really well. I appreciate the reports.
Okay, a motion to go in camera.
Thank you.
Councillor Cutler. All in favor? Carried. Camera off, please. See ya. Okay, can I get a motion to come out of in camera?
I'll make a motion to go out of in camera.
All in favor of coming out of in camera? Carried. Okay, we need a motion to accept the offer from ERC Logistics. Councillor Schlossberger. Question?
Moved by Councillor Schlossberger to accept the offer to purchase from ERE Logistics for land located at Lot 6 and 7, Block 4, Plan 7910032 for $60,000 as presented.
All in favor? Carried. Motion to adjourn. Councillor Carlson. We are adjourned. camera off, please.